Hi there, this is Tim with an Elite Dangerous video, and in this video I'm going to take a very quick look at the 1.4 update. Now obviously the major part of the 1.4 update is the addition of CQC, which stands for Close Quarter Combat, and I have actually done another video, which you can check for within the last two that I uploaded, that kind of takes you through my first play. And obviously, as I got used to it, you'll see my skills improve and things like that, and kind of runs through most of the features. I have to say that initially when I heard about CQC I was pretty negative in my own thoughts about it. I didn't really express these anywhere else because it didn't feel like the Elite franchise really, what they were talking about. But since then, having tried it, I actually really like it. I did miss the smaller ships in the main game. I hated the fact that I had to move out of them to still be competitive in most situations, because I liked the way that they flew, or that they travelled and felt. So I'm actually pretty positive about CQC now, and I think I'll actually spend a lot of time there. As far as the main software itself, you can see there's a new CQC rank listing, which I currently have as helpless 92% on the menu here. And in the stats, you now see your CQC stats as well. You do make a little bit of money for the main game from CQC. You can see I've made nearly 7,000 credits there in about an hour, which really doesn't compare to anything from the main game. But it might actually help rookies quite a bit because they can go and do something that has no consequence and make a little bit of money, maybe get themselves out of a hole if they are still in a sidewinder. They might actually be able to do something that's no risk, which CQC is no risk, and actually bring that money into their main game, and it might help. As far as other UI changes, there's a few changes in the maps, and now you can see that the overall faction is listed. You can see here there's a salvage mission which has stolen goods. You can see the cargo, it says stolen there. So this would be an illegal salvage mission. And then you also have legal salvage missions now. You can see it doesn't say illegal next to encrypted data storage there. So you now have legal salvage missions as well. And the fact that you can see the faction now on the bulletin board is really useful because it shows you which faction to go for to build, which minor faction to go for to build your major faction standings. There are 3 new ships in 1.4, starting with the Imperial Eagle. Now this it's obviously a lower end ship. It's probably something that I'll never find myself flying in the main game, because it's coming obviously after I've moved past that stage, and really the only one that I'll probably go back to is maybe the Vulture. That has the maneuverability that I like. So you saw the stats there, the shipyard screen. This is the loading screen for that ship. And this is a look at the outside of it. So it's a very, very pretty ship. It's just something that I guess I'm past in my gameplay. So lots of what looks like chrome, maybe some kind of carbon fiber, if they still use things like that in this age. So now I'll just fly it around a little bit with the default configuration, and you'll be able to listen to what it sounds like and what the boost sounds like and just things like that. Quite a cool boost sound there. You can really hear it kind of spooling up.
Frameshift charge detected.
quite like that boost sound. It's a very cool sound. The second ship is the Federal Assault Ship. Here's a look at its stats as well. Obviously these are just the default stats. As I scroll down you can see what configuration slots there are, such as the hardpoints, internals. So you can obviously upgrade past what I'm showing you and what I'm flying. And here you can see, now something to notice here before I move on, you'll notice that this has 6 feet on the bottom. Why is that important? Well, I'll show you in a moment. But here's a look at the outside. Looks quite cool, really. Kind of reminds me of a stealth bomber.
For the safety of all visitors, please clear the access corridor quickly and safely. All pilots must be aware of their speed whilst in and around the starport.
So I think that's quite a cool looking ship, for sure. Let's see how it sounds.
Ship released. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
Quite a nice roll rate there. I was quite surprised by that. And the pitch rate doesn't seem that bad either, so this might actually have a place in some people that have advanced in the game a little bit. This ship might actually have a fitting that's suitable to get at or near the Vulture. And the third new ship is the Federal Gunship. Same thing, here's a quick look at the stats and the description. And its loading screen. And here's a look at the outside of the ship. And the reason why I pointed out the 6 legs on the previous ship is because this one doesn't have those rearward legs. And as I move around here, you'll notice that. And I don't know if they've left those legs off accidentally, but looks a little bit strange to me. It looks like it should tip over. But other than that, obviously nice looking ship, very similar to the last one. It's kind of a variation of it, obviously. But yeah, you have a big heavy engine on the back, you obviously have the cargo, everything back there, and no legs to support it. One thing that I'm noticing now, actually, while I'm looking at it, there might actually be shadows there for legs to go on top of, but maybe the legs are supposed to be there and they're not. But anyway, it struck me as a little bit strange. So obviously very, very similar looks to the last ship. So let's go see how this sounds.
Ship released. Engines engaged.
Access to
Landing gear retracted.
A much kind of heavier feel to this ship. And much like the last ship, it sounds like quite a familiar boost sound. So nothing too spectacular there, although the sound in this game is pretty spectacular in itself. Kind of banging sound as you roll, quite a slow roll, slower than the last ship for sure. The pitch rate isn't too bad, but I think the previous ship is more of a combat ship in most situations, but obviously with planetary landings, things like that, things can change. Another new thing in 1.4 are compromised navigation beacons. And as far as I can tell, the only change in these is that there is no security presence. Even if you have report crimes against me turned on, the police will not show up, as far as I can tell, anyway. And there seems to be a greater presence of wanted targets, pirates, basically. So it's actually a much nicer hunting ground for a bounty hunter. And it's quite nice to get something like that added, because it's an element of gameplay that I feel has got worse over the last couple of updates. And that's why I've kind of gone off the game a little bit. You'll have noticed I've not been playing as much recently, but also, you know, things in my personal life as well have been a lot more busy. But the game itself changed in a way that I wasn't really as interested. And hopefully a couple of the recent changes will reverse that. So here we have a target, big Type 9. And that one's clean, so that's obviously a decent target for these pirates that are in this area. And Orca with an escort, and that one's clean, so basically that's a good target for a pirate. And then you have a Type 7 here that's actually wanted. And skipping a little bit later here, there's an Imperial Courier, and something that's actually interesting is that later on, pretty much every single contact that I came across was wanted. So that's why I'm saying that they're probably a lot more dangerous. You see a Python, a Federal dropship. So there's a lot of wanted targets here now, which compared to a normal navigation beacon, I think it's a little bit, you know, better for bounty hunting now. So something else that's added is hazardous resource extraction sites, or RES sites, and you don't actually see them until you're within 1,000 light seconds. But there you can see a low, a normal, and a high, and a hazardous, which I've just selected. And I'm going to fly towards that now. And same with the compromised nav beacon. The difference with a hazardous resource extraction site seems to be more bad guys, bigger bad guys, and obviously if you are a miner, the asteroids in this area are probably better to mine, but obviously you get the risks of an increased pirate presence to go along with that. Now, it did take me a long time to find one, and like I say, you have to be within 1,000 light seconds for them actually to show on the left navigation menu, so bear that in mind when you're looking for them. But I found one here in the DISO or DISO system, and going to move in. You can see this ring around this brown dwarf. It actually has a lot of resource extraction sites. And if you have watched any of my previous videos, you know that I can pretty much hold my own in most combat situations. But I'm going to obviously test that out in a resource extraction site and see what happens. Obviously I've just arrived. There is already a blip on the scanner, so I'm going to check that out and see just how hazardous this place is. So there is an asp, and he's wanted. Let's have a look what else there is. An Imperial Clipper, wanted. And there's two more blips a little bit further away. Let's see. We have a Federal gunship who is wanted and in a wing of two, with a Diamondback Scout who is wanted. So I'm just going to attack this guy because it's a Federal gunship. It's one of the new ships. And it looks like immediately his wingman has started firing on me too. Hasn't actually... oh, yeah, there we go. He's just managed to hit me. It's actually been a while since I've flown the Vulture in combat. I actually fly a Python in the main game now. But... it shouldn't be too difficult to beat this guy, considering how good I thought Vultures were. So I mean, if you look at this guy, it took a while to get his shields down, longer than I would have expected in 1.3 with any ship, really. I think I've taken Anacondas down quicker than this in 1.3, just doing the same flight tactics. You kind of have to ignore what's happening to me because I'm being attacked by two targets, but in 1.3 I feel like I could have taken down an Anaconda with a Vulture within this amount of time. So I think things might be a little more difficult in 1.4. And to be brutally honest, the game has been very easy for a long time. That's another reason why I kind of went away from it a little bit. It's just not been the kind of nail-biting challenge that it was in the early stages, where you almost died every time you fought a ship that was better than yours. So this encounter that I'm having right here, it's kind of what I want from Elite, where, you know, if I'm going to attack these guys and I'm going to take that risk, then there should actually be a risk. You know, so the fact that I'm 19% hull and things like that, that's kind of what I would expect, attacking two targets that are pretty good. As you can hear, there's a lot of additional warnings, like an update on your canopy integrity being at 50%, things like that. As far as I remember, that's new. Still in the same area, the hazardous resource extraction site, I spot an Anaconda as I'm about to leave. And look at that bounty, it's a pretty nice bounty. Although this isn't my main game, so it doesn't make a difference to me. He is being attacked by two other wanted targets. So I figure, you know, I'll see what I can do here. You'll notice that I'm attacking his power plant. And a major change in 1.4 is the fact that you cannot fire through a ship to get to a module on the underside of that target. So basically, if he hides his power plant from me by turning,
Warning, incoming hatchery.
then obviously I'm not going to be able to take him down via power plant.
Warning, incoming hatchery.
And you can see he's obviously trying to attack me.
Hatchery limited avoided. Warning, incoming hatchery limited. Under attack. Hatchery limited avoided.
So I mean,
Target
in the
destroyed.
end, all this section showed is that hazardous resource extraction sites are very hazardous, but I do actually have another video of me taking on an Imperial Eagle that will show you the new kind of power plant safety measure, basically. Here I'm attacking this Eagle, and I'm going to select its power plant like I normally would, and you'll notice that because it's on the far side of the ship, I actually don't take it down. So basically that's something to think about in future combat with 1.4.
Target shields.
You'll see his hull is at 87, 84, and the power plant is at 100% and stays at 100% because I'm firing at the wrong side of his ship to be able to hit it. So that's fantastic. So I like most of the changes that have been made. Obviously the big thing about 1.4 is CQC, but I'm pretty happy with the update. It should actually make some changes that I need to get back into this game. Thanks, bye.